Is there a single study that has ever said that social media is good for young people, for minors, for children?
Oh, that's such a good question. And yes, I feel like often people are always like, oh, but there's, you can't prove the social media is causing this. And it's like, yeah, but show me a study that shows that there's clear benefits from social media for kids. Not that I can name, honestly. I feel like I read a lot of this literature and the studies are just overwhelming. Like social media causes anxiety, social media causes depression, it causes these sleep issues in kids. Even just the smartphone, there's more studies been done on the smartphone. The age of first smartphone kind of correlates with poor mental health as a young adult. This longitudinal study basically found kids who got smartphones younger had worse mental health outcomes as adults. Their like rate of suicidality or like suicidal thoughts was like way higher the younger they got a first smartphone. And so it's not even just social media, it's also the age that they're getting the phone is leading to worse outcomes over time. Like I try to explain this to parents, it's not just like your kid's going to be anxious now. Like there's cumulative long-term effects to the kind of effect, the impacts the technology is having on their development, both the kind of physical brain development and then also their emotional and mental health development. The last thing I'll mention is a study out of University of North Carolina in 2023 did actually a kind of longitudinal study over time of the effects of checking social media. So not even just like being on social media or the exposure to the content, just the habit of checking social media and what that did to the brain over time. And they found that kids who were habitual checkers of social media during the day showed divergent brain development over time. They became more sensitive to kind of social rewards than their peers, because teens kind of go through a period of development where they become extremely sensitive to kind of social feedback from their peers. It's a very normal process of development, but social media is hijacking that. And so these kids who were habitually checking social media during these kind of really critical development years, later in their teen years, they're like 17-year-olds, they're like overly sensitized to that kind of social peer feedback, whereas peers who were not checking as frequently kind of follow a normal path of development and they're not as sensitized to like what other people are thinking about them all the time as the kids who are checking social media. So it is doing something to the brain, and it can have effects over time.